Hey everybody, and welcome to the Cunningham Show here on a absolutely beautiful Monday afternoon in South Florida. Hope you guys are going to get out there and enjoy some of this. Sorry if these guys are up north, but it's just beautiful down here. Today I'm going to talk to you about what's your home worth in South Florida. I'm going to piss off some realtors, but it is what it is. What else is new?
Your source for profit. Hear what you need to know to succeed in today's real estate market.
You see, I have a very different view as to what determines value. If I'm going to take my wife to the jewelry store, she's going to determine what she's willing to pay for a necklace or a ring or whatever bracelet. If I'm going to look at a car, I know based on the Kelley Blue Book what it could be worth, look at some different variables, and then I would, of course, make my offer based upon that. Well, in real estate, there's a very, how can I say this? There's a hard, fast rule that most people don't listen to. You see, value to me is based upon what somebody is willing to pay for a certain asset at a certain time. Now, that makes it a little bit subjective, obviously subject to change. But what's value right now does not mean what's going to be the value 30 days from now, or the value 60 days from now, or even a week from now. But unless you're, watching what's going on, you're going to have a hard time understanding what your house is worth. And even down here, a house on the intercoastal is probably going to have a little bit more resiliency than a house in the hood. Things matter. Politics matters. Interest rates, I would think, is going to be the governing factor as to what your home is worth here in South Florida, because obviously the more available funds are to purchase your home, the more buyers available to purchase your home, the more likelihood your property has some value. Now, there's been a couple things, in case you haven't noticed, there's been a couple things over the last, I'd say, 7 to 10 days that have happened that directly impact the value of your property here in South Florida. And if you aren't paying attention and just listening to a realtor who is going to have you chase the market down, and what I mean by chase the market down is if you have to reduce your price 2, 3, 4 times over a 4 or 5 month period, yeah, you're not pricing correctly. You're chasing the market down. You're trying to catch up to where the value is. In fact, I will go as far as say if you have to reduce your price at all, then you haven't valued your property accordingly. The interest of a home seller and the interest of a realtor don't necessarily align. And I think a lot of homeowners don't understand that. There is really no skin in the game for a realtor to wait 30, 60, 90, or 120 days for your house to sell and to keep lowering the price until they get enough offers. But that could mean the difference to you of thousands of dollars, and more importantly, the time of that money. That's what I'm going to get into. You see, again, a property is worth what someone is willing to pay for it at a specific current period of time. So here today in late January, what's your house worth? And are you gauging what's happening in the market? This past weekend, did some driving for dollars. I put out 7 or 8 offers on different properties. And I price my offers a little bit differently. Of course, I make sure that my offer is based upon my ability to resell the property. I'm not looking to move in. So, of course, it's at a little bit of a discount. I'm looking at repairs. I'm looking at absorption rate. I'm looking at all kinds of things. But I'm going to take you through a very quick and easy way for you to do the same, maybe even on your own property. So let's look at this. I'm going to take you over here to Zillow, and I've got a area here in, where is this? Oakland Park put together. And all these red houses are, I mean, these red dots are, as you know, if you follow on Zillow, these are all properties that are for sale. But here's where it gets interesting. These properties pop up and they're available for sale. Now watch this. This one here is listed at $369, and if you click on it, you get a Zestimate of $312. Now I'm not at all telling you Zestimates are the end all be all of property valuations, but just for illustrative purposes, this property is basically $50,000 more than what this particular website says it's worth. Now understand, again, I'm gonna underscore that I don't believe Zillow 100% at all. But at a first glance, there's something that jumps off the page at you. At least it should. Can Zillow be that far off? $50,000? Now your agent should be able to pull up a, wait a minute, hold on. Don't let your agent pull up a CMA. Have them do a comparable analysis of closed properties, of like properties, like the one you're selling. And you'll start getting, there's some variance, but what I've been seeing over the last 7 to 10 days is that this kind of thing is happening. So let's close that. Let's go to the next one. This one here is $389.9. Click on it. And this one's got $60,000 less as well. $389, $390 as its price, $332 is what Zillow has it as its estimate. Let's look at another one. This one here, $430,000 is listed for. Let's see what Zillow says it's estimated to be worth $249. This is insane. How can a property have that much differentiation between reality, what it's worth, and what someone is listing it for? Nuts, isn't it? It's extremely nuts. Let's look at this one. This one here is $299.9, and $299. And let's look at the estimate. And $185. I don't know if you can see it. Let me move my head. $185 is what Zillow has as the estimate. How can these numbers be so far off? What is Zillow doing with their algorithm to really tank the value of these homes? Now, as a homeowner, you have to understand Zillow is not the preeminent #1 source for home values anywhere. But it should give you cause for concern. It should get you, if I was the person who owned this property and was listing it, I would have to make a phone call today. Hey, this thing is $299.9 listed, and Zillow says it's worth $185. We're $100,000 off here. What the hell's going on? Tell me. I own this property at $299. You told me to list it, and what are we going to do? Just keep stepping it down to hopefully somebody buys it? That's chasing the market down. So what could be causing this? Well, we know that interest rates have been fantastic lately. I mean, literally 2s, 3s at the high end. We also know that there have been an influx with people coming from the Northeast, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts. They've been trying to get out of these hellholes and get down here to paradise. But in the last 7 to 10 days, somebody took office and things have changed tremendously. All of a sudden, even though it's in January, they're releasing these stay-at-home orders. Magically, the Rona isn't as powerful in the last 7 days than it has been. But what that may do is it may keep people there. They may not just jump on an airplane or pack up the U-Haul and get out of Dodge. That's less buyers. You're going to have to keep an eye on that. If there's less interest in moving to Florida, you better keep your eye on the pricing. It still doesn't account for $100,000 difference in pricing, but at the same time, that's an impact. But there's an even bigger impact that you have to watch. Okay, so follow along here. As I mentioned, somebody got put into office, and watch what happens here. So this article came out on the 22nd, And it said South Florida home sales are up over 20% in December. 20% year over year. That's huge. Huge. Market's flipping hot. This is written 2 days after Biden got into office. 2 days. So as of then, it was smoking hot and it was trailing, and we're seeing a trend, and we're up 20% in December. It says many people, if you can read this, hopefully, many people from the Northeast, Midwest, and California flocked to South Florida, driving up the demands for homes. All right, so as I just said to you, if that flocking begins to diminish, are you watching that? Are you seeing how that could impact us down here in South Florida if people are not going to keep buying houses sight unseen? Look at the positive impacts, which he just told you about, and now begin looking at what could potentially influence that. As we continue, the luxury market in particular had robust sales. The median sales price climbed, yada, yada. And then down here, you can read this entire article on your own. But when you get down to things like this, he's talking about Miami-Dade County, and the current sales price pace dropped to 3.3 months. That's a seller's market. Seller's market still 3.3 months of inventory. Absorption rates 3.3. Once you get into the fives, maybe even high fours, you're talking about a buyer's market. All right, so down here, they're talking that current sales, still a buyer's market in condos. I don't really care about condos. Broward County, the inventory shrank, 2.1 months of inventory. 2.1. Strong seller's market in December. And then, of course, when you get down here, you got the president of the Broward Palm Beaches Realtor Association's homes are coming off the market almost as soon as they are listed, as the median time to contract decreased 60% to 19 days. Great. That sounds fantastic. I should be able to put up a property based on what she's saying. Based on what she's saying right there, I should be able to put up a property and boom, in 19 days have this thing sold. People they're just flying off the shelves. Here we are, little less than a week later. Is that still happening? You see values still rising. You see properties flying off the shelves. I don't know if I looked in the wrong neighborhoods, but over this weekend, I looked at houses that have been on the market 25 and 30 days. That's one of the things I look for. I look for vacant houses who've been on the market for 25 or 30 days, and they're there. It's starting to creep very quickly. But if you aren't watching this, if your agent isn't telling you to watch this, you could be in trouble very, very soon. You see, her entire thing is based upon, again, buyers across the country are flocking to Florida. The first criteria, buyers from the Northeast flocking to Florida. Now they're again, buyers are flocking to Florida. What happens when that stops? I talk about crystal balls all the time. And again, I say you don't need to have a crystal ball. If you know that people are getting back to work up in the Northeast, if you know that the government is looking to bail out New York and Connecticut and New Jersey and get these people back to work, do you think they're going to keep flocking to South Florida? Or is nobody looking on the horizon and saying, hey guys, we might want to prepare for an abrupt halt with this stuff? When we get back from the break, I'm going to tell you about something that's really, really important that you should be looking at.
Your source for profit. Hear what you need to know to succeed in today's real estate market.
All right, we're back. Hey, listen, if you don't know who I am, my name is Barry Cunningham. I've been a real estate investor here for 20 plus years, been in a ton of transactions, and I'm giving you information as a home buyer as some of the things that you should be looking at if you're trying to, home seller, if you're trying to figure out how you should be looking to sell your home, what's the right timing, what's the value of the home, what's going to impact the value. Now let's talk about something governmental that could be extremely, extremely problematic for people trying to sell a property. So one, let's look at and begin charting people moving from the Northeast. If that begins to slow down, remember that was basically the codicil for what's fueling the market right now. Notice in both those articles, I can go back to it, where is it? In both these articles, it did not say that the market was being fueled by interest here. It said buyers across the country are flocking to Florida, and this month's market reports certainly back that up. And above in the article, it said the same thing. People from the Northeast coming down here. What happens when that stops? It's not going to be never ending. So what happens? Again, none of us have a crystal ball, but we all indeed have the data available to begin watching this. Does your agent tell you? Is your agent telling you, hey, listen, we're not seeing as many people come down here. The offers may be getting lower very soon on the property. It may not be going hot and flying off the shelf as soon as you listed. Is anyone telling you this stuff? Probably not. So I digress. Let's talk about the housing industry. And this video came out, this article came out a couple days ago. And this is actually the Florida Realtors website. The Florida Realtors website. So your realtor should be reading this. Now interpreting it, that might be a problem. But they should be reading it, and they should be sending you this information. So let's go through here. Housing industry changes expected during the Biden administration. I've told you about that for quite some time. I'm not going to go over it right now except for this article. But if you have not been aware, you're in trouble. Could be in trouble. So clues in the transition. Biden's transition team largely consists of consumer-centric housing experts, including former Obama-era officials who are expected to have long-term roles with the administration. Now that Congress is blue, the Biden housing team will likely lean progressive, as the administration will have an easier time with key appointments and yada, yada, yada. It's going to turn left. Now that's important, very important, as someone looking to sell their property. That's extremely important in terms of your ability to make money. Let's continue. So look what Biden's going to be doing, and I told you this a long time ago. Sweeping list of mortgage and housing plans aimed at reshaping the industry to benefit borrowers and consumers. Notice it didn't say to benefit sellers and homeowners. It's going to benefit buyers. Borrowers, try to get them into mortgages. Stay tuned. So what's he going to do? As I've mentioned many a times, a $20 billion expansion of the Section 8 voucher program. That's great, because as of today, we find out here that nearly 20% of renters in America are behind on their payments. And the typical average median person now is $5,600, being nearly 4 months behind on their monthly rent payment. So he wants to put these people in houses, your houses, Section 8. A tax credit for low-income families right here. Expanded funding for subsidized housing. I love that one. Strengthening of anti-discrimination policies. That could be anything. And as we had mentioned for months, zoning reform. Meaning, if they want to stick a multifamily unit in your neighborhood, now it's going to be easier for people to convert properties, build tenements, different things. Do you think if next door to you it turned into a rooming house because the zoning was relaxed, is that going to help or hurt your property value? I'll let you answer that. Just imagine next door, there's a house full of recovering drug addicts. It seems far-fetched? Nope. Not with zoning reform. You can put any property anywhere. In addition to that, Biden says now he's pledging $15,000 tax credit for first-time home buyers. Approximately $300 billion of the housing plan is devoted to new construction. You see anything here about helping you get the best price for your property? No. In fact, if you're not capitalist, financial, economically sound, you're not understanding what he's saying there. Look at this. $300 billion is devoted to new construction for first-time home buyers. $20 billion expansion of the Section 8 program. $5 billion for renter tax credits. Let me ask you a question. Where the hell is that money coming from? Yeah, partly out of your pocket, but where do you think that money is coming from? I want you to ponder that for a while. How does the government get the money to spend all this stuff? And this is in the first week. This is just what the checks they want to cut in the first week. Wake up. Where's the money coming for this? Well, most of that money is coming from debt, meaning the government will issue bonds, meaning, hey, give us some money, we'll pay you back some interest so we can go do all these programs because there's no way we're going to collect enough tax to do this. So let's go ahead and borrow some money from China. And they'll pay it and they'll own the debt on this. What happens when there's too much debt? We're going to talk about that when we get back.
Your source for profit. Hear what you need to know to succeed in today's real estate market.
Okay, so let's talk about debt. And I'm looking at this today. And I pulled it up. And it's the mortgage rate forecast for February 2021. Okay, we're getting towards February. Okay, you might want to look at this. And it says mortgage rates best days may be behind us already. That's not to say that low rates are gone forever. No one's going to use a superlative by no means. The 30-year mortgage is just 2.79. But recent increases should be a wake-up call. Low rates don't last and can be gone before rate shoppers can lock. Now, you understand if rates are 2.75, 2.93%, and someone's coming from the Northeast and they want to buy a house, they got to lock in a rate so they can get it cheaply. But things can change like that. They have. This was written, as you can see, this was written on January 14th. That was written exactly a week prior to the Biden administration taking office. And definitely before all these executive orders took place. And so now the wheels are turning in Washington and Biden is putting his plan together. So what happens when you have to pay for this stuff? Well, this chart here shows mortgage rate trends plus the predictions for the next 90 days based on current events. Current events. Again, if you're selling your property at $350 today and you don't think it's where it's going in 30 days, you're not following along. And this might be your wake-up call. So let's look at this. I've got the mortgage rate forecast for the next 90 days, and I've got it pulled out into an image. Same image. Okay, you ready for this? These were interest rates back in 2018, and they have fallen precipitously. Great. We're seeing great rates, and they just keep falling and falling. And the all-time low for interest rates was 2.65% that it hit on January 7th. Then, no, back here about the 20th, what happened? Why is it going back up? What's this? What is this trend? Why is it just boom, it spiked on this particular day? What happened? I'll tell you what happened. Joe Biden was inaugurated. And immediately, this happened. And it's if you know anything about data and you understand trend lines, this is the trend line. It's just going up. Are you seeing that? Are you following data? Most people don't, but you can just see this. The trend line since 2018 was a fall, little bit of a spike, kept falling, went down, and now boom, we're in a spike. Are you paying attention? Are you paying attention? What's the value of your home today? I don't know. But what I do know is if this keeps happening, that value is going to drop quickly because interest rates are going to go up. Why are interest rates going to go up, Barry? What makes you think you have the idea as to why interest rates are going to go up? That's a pretty easy one to answer. So if we know that Biden is going to spend a gazillion dollars putting all this stuff here into play, if he's going to spend a gazillion bucks putting that in play, and he's going to have to borrow a bunch of money, what do you think is going to happen with interest rates? So here, I can tell you. Let's go back and look at this article. And as you scroll down, and it's talking about, different predictions for February 2021. And it says the Democrat-controlled Congress will put upward pressure on rates. I'm not making it up. There it is. And then here's why. Mortgage rates are tied to bond prices. So if the government floods the market with bonds, bond prices go down due to supply and demand. Interest rates must rise to keep investors buying those bonds. This drives up interest rates on mortgages. Boom. Your property values go down, less buyers, more expensive money, depression in the market. I don't say depression, but a drop in value. It's coming. It's not a wonder. It's not an if. It is coming. Remember, this is a projection for February 2021. This guy is already talking about it. He's already making the information available to you. All you have to do is read. And goes, here it is. If that explanation was too much for you, just remember that more government spending leads to higher mortgage rates. More government spending leads to higher interest rates. The more a government spends, the higher the interest rates go. The higher the interest rates go, the less availability of credit, loans, interest rate on a mortgage. It's going to get higher. People are going to pull back. They're going to constrict. People may not move down from the Northeast. You have to have your own crystal ball if you are a home seller in today's real estate market, especially here in South Florida. If you're not looking at all this information, if you're not putting the details together to understand where we're headed, you're just going based upon it's just smoking hot, everything's selling within 24 hours, it's a great market, you got to jump in, there's no inventory, yada, yada, yada. Skate to where the puck is going to be, not where the puck is. Wayne Gretzky said that. Skate to where the puck is going to be, not where the puck is. Everybody, it seems, I won't say everybody, I hate using superlatives myself. Everybody, it seems, is skating to where the puck is. Hey, it's a great market. Everything is fine and dandy. We're all making a ton of money. Go ahead and sell it right now at the top of the market. See what you can get. And, wait a minute. We just elected a new president. He just got inaugurated. He's signing executive orders like they're going out of style. Going to spend money. They're going to spend a crap load of money. They're not even hiding it. They're telling you, boom, here's what we're going to be doing. $20 billion expansion of the Section 8 program, $15,000 tax credit for home buyers, $300 billion here, another billion there. Where's that money coming from? They're going to borrow it. And when they borrow it, as it says here, you're going to end up paying for it one way or the other. Just remember that more government spending leads to higher mortgage rates. Watch TV. Whether you believe the news or not, just watch it. When they tell you something they're going to do, they're probably going to do it, especially if it regards to spending money. So if you're going to see, hey, we're doing this program and we're doing this program and we're going to spend a gazillion here and a gazillion there, you got to wonder how it's going to affect you. You got to wonder what's going on. Why is Zillow showing these properties with tremendous fluctuation in price? Why is that? I mean, I could click on even more here. Let me just go down to this one. I click on this one. You guys can see it. Let me move my head. And this one's not bad, but it's still under. Only 7,000 under. That's not bad. Let's look at this one. Oh, this is a real cheap one, 155. They can't be too wrong on that one, can they? No, see, that's still under. I'm trying to find one for you guys here that, you know, might be over. And I can't find them. I can't find them anywhere. I can't find any properties that are basically being sold at what the current value is. Current value being what someone is willing to pay today for a property. If I were to take this house here and say, listen, I'm willing to pay you $300,000. You're gonna say, no, man, that's a lowball offer. That's a lowball offer. That property's worth $330,000, $340,000. No, it isn't. There's nobody here buying it at $340,000. You want to wait? Let me know. Let me know. We'll wait. But then by the time you call me back, I'm down to 280 or less. See, the market chasing it backwards is extremely tough. And right now we're going to see home sellers not understand what's going on because realtors aren't telling them. They're not giving them all this data. They're not telling them, hey guys, understand what's ahead. It's all out there. 20% of the market can't afford rent payments. So what the Biden administration can do, they're going to give everybody, you know, free rent forever. Oh, okay. We're going to give them gazillion dollars in Section 8 vouchers. Oh, okay. Who's paying for it? You. Hey, isn't that going to cost us more interest rates on the bonds that we issue? Yep. Isn't that going to cause interest rates for mortgages to go up? Yep. Isn't that going to cause people not to want to buy as many houses? Probably. But you don't know that because no one's telling you that. This is really the type of market I actually love. I mean, I tell you, it's the kind of market where I start licking my chops because I know what's coming. I've said it over and over again. This is when fear and panic begins to sit in. This is when people realize what's going on. And these are some people who I ran into one over the weekend. He lost his business and he's got some equity, but the agent told him, you know, we can get this price for you. And so I looked him right in the eye and go, where are the buyers? If this is the price that you could get, and the agent said, you know, she could get this price for you, where's the buyer? There's nobody here. I'm standing here right now. I can tell you I can give you a check in about 7 days. Is there anybody else here? What's the value today? What is someone willing to pay you right now for this asset? So maybe when you're listing the property, you say, hey, listen, here's my value for my list price for the next 30 days because I'm not sure. Let's see what happens. Or do you want to sell this property right now? Oh, by the way, Mr. Seller, I'll give you 300 today, but I'm watching the trends. I'm watching everything happen, and I'm seeing this stuff. I don't know if you've seen it, where mortgage rates are basically on a direct trend line up. I'm seeing this, so I might have to come back next week at 275. What do you mean? You just told me you'd do 300. Yeah, that's today. That's right now. Sign a paper today. I might close it at 300. I actually had a deal that went south on me. I had a deal that looked cherry. Looked like this property was going to have like an $80,000 or $90,000 spread, and 2 or 3 other properties closed lower. Boom, market went right down. Value went right down in that property. I'm actually happy. I'm happy I didn't get my investors into this property, because if I'd gotten my investors in the property, we'd be looking up at a mountain trying to figure out how we're going to get out of it. So I got lucky by not closing on this deal. Sellers are going to need help. And it's the time now where we can make a ton of money in real estate, because we have data like this that tells us what's coming. We have data like this where they're telling us they're going to have to spend money. We have data like this where we're told the more government spends, the higher interest rates are. We have all that. Now it's just a matter of applying it. So if you'd like to look at doing a deal here in South Florida, please, by all means, give me a call. We are putting together an amazing group of people to take down property, to get ready to, to capitalize on what this administration is going to do. I'm not worried financially what Biden's going to do, because you just have to know how to navigate the labyrinth. Trump was one way, Biden's a different way. There's still money to be made. It's just a matter of what are you going to do to make sure you can navigate correctly through all this. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy property. I'm going to get some calls back from some of these sellers. Oh, by the way, this one, he said he's calling his agent today to find out if she knew about all this stuff that was happening. I can't wait to hear back from him on that one. And I told him my $300,000 offer only lasts until today at 5. Doesn't call me in the next 2 hours, then he loses out. I may put another offer in, maybe put it at 275. It's not going up. And that's something we all have to understand right now. The best of the market is over. That hot market where prices just kept going up and up, that's done. Think I'm lying? Watch. Just watch. Watch what happens. We're starting to see the other side of the hill. Hope you're ready. Talk to you hopefully tomorrow.
Your source for profit. Hear what you need to know to succeed in today's real estate market.